Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the State Basketball Centre, home of the Knox Raiders for round number 14 of the 2019 NBL1 season. As part of NAIDOC Week, we're very proud to be celebrating Indigenous round here at Knox Basketball this weekend. My name is Lockie Hale and I'll be your court announcer for this evening. It's my pleasure to welcome our special guest MC for tonight's event, Mr. Jeff McMullen. We also welcome back tonight our resident DJ, the man behind music. Make some noise from Mr. Bongo. And of course, we can't forget the madman himself, the Knox Raiders #1 fan. Say hello to Basketball Joe.
Let's go, Raiders, let's go! Yes!
Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader is our NBL1 men's game, featuring our guests, the Bendigo Braves, and of course our very own Knox Raiders. Now let's introduce our players. Please put your hands together and first welcome onto the court our visitors, the Bendigo Braves, led by #1 Deontay Burton, #2 Matthew Bartlett, #3 Jake Lloyd, #5 Tanner Rayner, #10 Jordan Mangan, #12 Jake Cowley, #15 Matthew Muro, #20 Matthew Johnston, #24 Chris Hogan, #31 Daniel Hansen, #34 Captain Matthew Andronicus, and #35 Ray Turner. The Bendigo Braves are coached by David Hogan, assisted by Justin Cass, Michael Gibbons, Taylor Bell, and team manager Ian Watson. As part of our Knox Raiders youth program taking course moving duty for Game 2 tonight, players from our Knox Raiders boys under 16,
And to mark our special Indigenous round, a little bit of history. The anthem will be sung in one of the world's oldest living languages. It will be sung by 13-year-old Brianna Lee, who comes from the Webber people in northwestern Victoria. Please welcome Brianna.
Just a few minutes away now from tip-off of our NBL1 men's round 14 game. The Bendigo Braves and our Knox Raiders. NBL1 live action right here at the State Basketball Centre.
Hello and welcome to the State Basketball Centre for this NBL1 round 14 matchup between the Knox Raiders and the visiting Bendigo Braves. My name is Liam Ellison. I'll be joining you this evening alongside Geelong Supercats Chief Operating Officer, and tonight special comments Greg Vanishat. Greg, how are you feeling?
Fantastic, mate. I'm really looking forward to this game. The Braves coming in here tonight off the back of a loss last night up in the range in Bendigo against the Albury-Wodonga Bandits who went in their building and pinched one. So they'll be really hungry to solidify their playoff spot heading into a round 15 matchup with our Geelong Supercats next weekend. And you know the Knox Raiders at 7-10. You know, the way the results have gone so far this weekend, they've still got a sniff as well. So this is a huge game in terms of the playoff landscape, and you know, some terrific athletes out there on the floor, NBL level talents, some great imports on both teams. Really looking forward to the matchup between Ray Turner, who's been one of the best big men in the country at this level for a number of years now, and finally got his NBL shot last year with the Sydney Kings. The matchup between himself and Cedarian Rains, who's a seriously good athlete for the Knox Raiders. So look, there's some really mouth-watering matchups all over the floor, but that one for me tonight has the ability to really decide the outcome of this game.
And of course, the Bendigo Braves sitting at 9-9 at the moment in 8th position, and the Raiders in 14th. And we have seen some just really impressive dunks as well in the warm-up, just illustrating that point about the athletes we've got in store tonight. Should be a fantastic game. And Ray Turner, the league-leading scorer with 23.5 points per game in action for Bendigo.
Yeah, look, Ray does it well at both ends. He's I remember him coming out to Australia for the first time in 2013 in Rockhampton, played with the Rockhampton Rockets in the QBL, and you know he didn't have the offensive skill set and package that he has now in terms of being back to the basket and what he can do with the ball in his hands, but he was just an absolute monster at the defensive end and being able to change shots at the rim, control the glass at both ends of the floor. You know, he can run the floor like a gazelle. He's a little bit older now and, you know, really polished his offensive game up, but you know, he's just a terrific centerpiece for this Braves lineup. They get Deontay Burton back, who's missed some weeks through injury, so you know, one of the best athletes at the guard spot in the league. Matt Andronicus is a veteran of the league. He's bounced around some NBL programs, spent a lot of time up in Cairns with the Cairns Taipans and the Marlins in the QBL. Matthew Muo's been an NBL player, you know, a championship winner with the Hobart Chargers last year. So you know, they're a deep and talented roster, and you know, this Knox roster, you know, it's a bold statement, but you know, you might say they've underachieved this year at 7-10. They've got some really good talent. We see Adam Thosby, an English international, represented England at the Commonwealth Games last year. in Townsville on the Gold Coast. Damon Hire, who's been a good NBL player in Cairns, and he came down here looking to get his shot back into the NBL. Then the two imports, Mike Rose and Rains, who we've already touched on. So look, a really talented Knox lineup that head coach Darryl McDonald has at his disposal. And if they can get a win tonight and a win tomorrow at Waverley, they give themselves a shot going into the last week of being a playoff team this year.
Yeah, certainly two teams that need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Braves in the playoff picture currently, but at 9-9 need to continue to win. Well, there's a nice crowd building here at the State Basketball Centre this evening. It's hard to judge here in this. The State Basketball Centre holds 3,200 roundabouts. They might get close to four figures tonight, Greg. It's looking pretty nice.
No, it's very healthy. A great round to draw a big crowd as well. The league's Indigenous round in NAIDOC week. So, we've seen a lot of the local Indigenous artists performing tonight, which has just been fantastic, acknowledging the culture of this region of Victoria and the culture of our country. So, look, a terrific initiative from the NBL1 and Basketball Victoria and Basketball Australia to roll this out, and well supported by particularly these two franchises and their special Indigenous jerseys tonight.
They look fabulous, those Indigenous jerseys, as do the refs, also wearing a special Indigenous jersey tonight. So fantastic to see. You'll even see the floor painted in the middle with the special design. So it's great to see the NBL1 supporting Indigenous round and NAIDOC week. We're about 20 seconds away here from tip.
I think keys to this one, obviously, the front court of Bendigo is quite imposing with Turner and Andronicus. The Raiders are going to really have a hard time of keeping both those guys off the glass. But going the other way, Hire and Thosby are two of the best decision-making guards in the league. Hire is a really deceptive athlete. He's been one of the best players in the QBL for a number of years now. Had a really good season for the Nelson Giants in the NZNBL last year. And I think, look, if the Raiders are going to win this one tonight, he needs to have a big game and really stamp his authority on this one early and showcase his skill set and like he's done for the Cairns Marlins in the QBL for a number of years, led them to a title in 2016. So, look, really excited for this matchup. The matchup between Hire and Muir in the backcourt, and Burton and Thosby will be one to watch.
Well, we can see Matthew Muir rocking the headband tonight, looking nice and spick.
I think he might be rocking the headband to hide that haircut. That is interesting. The Brian Bowen-esque haircut that Mathiang's rolled out. He's got the Roger Federer hairband or the Rafa Nadal headband. He's pitched out of Wimbledon, and he's been watching too much Summer League with Brian Bowen getting around. So as we see Turner and Rains jump it up, and Burton will take control of the first possession for the Braves.
So Hogan into Turner. And he's turned it over. Rains did well there, defending Turner. And it's going to be a great matchup between these two. Of course, as we said, Turner, the league leading scorer. Rains, one of the best imports in this league. He's higher.
Damon Hire, not a natural point guard, but has certainly crafted his game. I think maybe the messaging from NBL teams is, look, if you're going to be at this level, you've got to be a point guard, and he's certainly really grown his game as a point guard through the QBL and through Nelson, and we see him at the point here for the Raiders to start this one. So, look, credit to him for what he's done with his game over the last few years.
Thosby now nearly turned it over. Liam Grant.
Simon Grant knocking down the triple, the late shot clock on the contested three. Look for the Braves to go straight back to Ray Turner here. The veteran Chris Hogan, he's been in this league a long time, as Matthew Muo hoists up a three from the corners, no good.
So high now the other way. Working on Burton, getting to the hoop, but no good. So well done from Burton there.
High's come up a little bit limp on that one as he makes his way back into the play, and hopefully he's not hurt.
Turner now working on Rains. Good defense there from Rains, but he's been called for the foul.
Tim Mills with the late call as Rains seemed to get a lot of ball on that one, but maybe got a piece of the arm as we check the replay here. Good D from Rains to body up on a big body, and Ray Turner seemed just get maybe a little bit of arm there.
It's going to be a bruising battle nonetheless between these two.
Very diplomatic. Now, this is one area of Ray Turner's game where, you know, certainly hasn't been a strong suit for him over the years. He hasn't shot the ball poorly from the foul line this year, but certainly always been a critical point of his game in making the step to the next level. Hey, you need to shoot the ball at, you know, 75-80% from the foul line, you know, with the skill set and size that he has. And
certainly looks set to naturalise in the next year or so from what we've heard. So if that's the case, you think an NBL call-up would be on the way?
Well, absolutely. You know, guys like Ray Turner, he got his shot with the Sydney Kings last year through the back end of the season with them and played his role perfectly. You know, a big athletic body, protect the rim, run the floor hard, as we see Mike Rose blaze away from three. But, you know, a guy like Ray Turner as a non-restricted player in the NBL, super valuable. And we've seen it over the years in the NBL. Guys like Dave Gruber, once he got his shot with the Illawarra Hawks, was certainly a serviceable NBL player for a number of years. Adam Ballinger played as an import and later became naturalised and had a great NBL career. You go back even further, guys like Scott Fisher and the like, who started as imports and became Australians. So certainly would be great for Ray to be naturalised.
Here he is. And that one just rattles home for Ray Turner. And that'll give the Braves an early lead here. In fact, it's 3 apiece, rather. Here's Simon Grant over to Thosby. He picks up his dribble. Turner
on the switch.
Right there.
Raines will get a shot at the smaller defender. He can't take advantage. Good D.
So Burton now. Inside to Turner. Got the mismatch there. Takes advantage. Another bucket for Ray Turner.
Ray does such a great job of finishing around the rim. You see him pin behind the backboard there, but still being able to get the finish.
So Rose now over to Thosby. Hops against the screen from Raines. That's a tough jumper, almost behind the backboard. But Thosby gets it to drop. Hansen. Turner trying to post up on Raines. It will go there.
Ray's a real focal point of this offense for the Braves. I think he's got a touch on the post every time down the floor right now as he throws that one out of bounds. Trying to find the veteran Chris Hogan on the baseline.
So Simon Grant now to inbound for Knox.
Braves just a little bit clunky offensively to start this one. As I know it's a 5-5 game, but you know we saw the Lady Braves possess such great ball movement and spacing, and you know the Braves men have just been a little bit stagnant offensively. I'd like to see him get the ball through their hands, move it to a second and third side, and try and exploit Ray on the post on some duck-ins rather than just, you know, on the first side of offense when the Rays are loaded up. Great move from Mike Rose to get on the rim out of the ball screen.
Gives the Raiders the lead back at 7-5. Hansen once again inside to Turner, working on Raines. Scoops it up and around, but good D from Raines there. A couple of opportunities now they've had in the post with Ray Turner, but Raines has done well just to deny. And you're right, it has been really stagnant.
Yeah. You know, obviously a real focal point for the Braves going to Ray early and often on the post, but you know, maybe go away from it and come back to it and let Ray get some easy points and feel good through some tip-ins, and rather than having to grind away against such a big, strong guy like Sedina and Raines, as Mike Rose comes up shooting again out of that ball screen and gets a friendly roll. Give the Raiders a 4-point lead, 9-5 with 6 to go.
Mathiang Muir now. Once again inside to Ray Turner. What can he do here? Spinning, puts it up. He's drawn the foul, Turner.
And that'll be Raines' second as well. So a bit of method to the madness there from Coach Hogan. Is, you know, they've got Raines 2 early fouls, and that's going to have a huge impact on this game. As you see James Hunter checking in to get his first crack at Ray Turner on the low post.
It will be interesting to see how he goes against Turner. Of course, Raines has done a great job, but with those 2 fouls, as you said, can Turner now take advantage with him off the floor?
That's probably been a knock on Raines throughout his debut NBL1 season, is, you know, his ability to play without fouling consistently. And the games where he hasn't been in foul trouble, he's had absolutely monstrous games. You know, his skill set lends itself well to playing in this league, and you know, but when he's got in foul trouble, he's had to sit, and it really hurts this Raiders franchise without his size and his presence at both ends of the floor in the game. See Turner again go 1 for 2 from the line. You know, that 50% clip that he's shooting it at right now.
So Rose now over to Grant. Here's Thosby. Hansen on him. Switches on to Turner. Grant will pull up for his second three. No good.
Big board from Ray Turner over the back.
So Rayner over to Hogan. Here's Turner again. Now he'll work down low. It's fallen out to Rayner. Drains the three. I'm not sure if Turner, they got knocked out to Rayner. The inadvertent assist, though, in the end for Bendigo. And it's 9 apiece. Mike Rose. Oh, once again, what a move to the hoop. Just a little strong in the layup attempt. Looks dangerous off the dribble, though, with that in and out move. And he's come up with the steal nearly. Ran out of real estate, but good hustle nonetheless from Mike Rose.
Matthew Muir just a little casual there with the handle, and he's going to check out of the game. D-Mac didn't like something he's seen there, as we see Malik Mounier check into the game for the first time.
So Tanner Rayner, they're going to reset things by the looks.
And we've got a looks like we've got a shot clock issue again. The Knox bench giving the Braves a free reset there. We'll run it down to 18. Little bailout foul there from Grant, and that's those type of fouls 40 feet away from the basket is, just that lack of discipline. Now, the Braves are one foul away from the bonus. They just play with discipline, play without fouling, make the Braves execute in the half court where you can guard their action and not put them on the line and give away 3 points early in the game.
Rayner working his way in, saw a wall of Knox defenders, but coming up with it there is Bendigo for an easy two.
The skipper, Matt Andronicus, his first points in the night.
Thosby around the Grant screen. So now the three ball for Knox, no good.
Matthew Muir got a little touch on that and was a little casual again as he pursued that down and let it dribble out of bounds, and Raiders will get a reset to 14 here with a side out action. Thosby isolated on the wing against Hansen on the drive.
Thosby again. The mid-range goes from the baseline for Adam Thosby. Bendigo now, Lloyd into the game.
Again, back to the post for the Braves on the second side of the floor after that reversal, and Andronicus throws it back out. Good D from Damon Hire there as he forces Muir over the baseline with a little bit of physicality, and good job from Hire to stay disciplined on that one and force the turnover from the Braves, and Rays will get it back to try and take the lead.
And Deontay Burton as well coming back in moments ago after a couple of fruitless trips up the floor for Bendigo. Here's Damon Hire. And there's a foul call.
Daniel Batty saw something he didn't like there, and the reach from Rayner on the inbound there. And again, we talked about it with Knox, but the foul discipline, and foul guy 40 feet away from the basket, and probably part of the reason why these two teams are sitting in that middle pack in the ladder is just the easy points that they bleed because of the fouls or the defensive breakdown. So if they can tighten that up, they certainly have superior talent to a number of teams ahead of them on the ladder.
Hire working his way in, out to Thosby. He'll fire from the wing. It's fallen out to Simon Grant, though, so the Raiders to reset with a fresh 14. Here's Mounier. What can he do here? Andronicus on him. He finds his way to the hoop, and he's fouled by Andronicus in the end, so Malik Mounier will go to the line for two. Good aggression by the 19-year-old.
See Ray Turner come back into the game for Mathiang. Mike Rose will return, and Damon Hire taking a seat for the Raiders after a 6.5 minute spurt to start the game.
So Mounier now makes the first one. 75% shooter on the season. Plays around 11 minutes a game off the Knox Raiders bench for Coach Darryl McDonald. And Reigns will come back in pretty early here. He's got 2 fouls to his name.
D-Mac going to gamble with those 2 fouls. There's still 3.5 to go in this first quarter, and I'm sure the Braves will be right back at Reigns in the low block with either Andronicus or Turner.
Burton back out to Lloyd. Good movement from the Braves. Here's Burton again. 11 remaining on the shot clock. And there's Andronicus inside. Nice move.
Good patience that time against the zone from the Braves to find Andronicus lurking on that baseline for the easy 2.
Munir into Reigns, working on Andronicus. Oh, nice pass into Thosby, but he misses the lay-in attempt. So Lloyd now the other way for Bendigo. Burton back out to Andronicus. He's got Rose on him. Lloyd. And here it is. Turner. He'll opt to pull up. Thought he might have gone at Reigns there.
Raiders got to stop though. James Hunter with the board. And
so Malik Munir now. Over to Rose, who'll pull up from the corner. No good there. So both teams with a couple of misses on the last few possessions. Are locked at 13 apiece. Fairly low scoring here. Andronicus on Reigns, out to Deontay Burton. Oh, all the way to the hoop for 2. Too easy.
He's explosive, Deontay Burton. We've seen him on numerous NBL1 highlight reels throughout the season for his high-flying antics, and he just ripped by there. The easy layup on the rim.
Into Reigns.
Reigns going to work inside with a tough finish. Good patience in the paint from Reigns there. Nice run from Munir too.
Here's Lloyd on the wing. Inside to Turner. It's come off the backboard though. And out of bounds. So the pass just a little strong from Lloyd. As we see Matthew Bartlett check into the game.
Jordan Adnam checking in for Knox Raiders for his first action as well. You see some extended pressure here. This Soldier Boy blasts through the speakers here at the State Basketball Centre.
Real party atmosphere here in Knox. Munir.
Raiders straight back to Reigns on the post again against Turner. Great matchup as Reigns with a short hook, no good. Good D from Turner there to force Reigns to his non-preferred right hand.
So Bartlett now. His first touch of the rock. Finding his way in, but nice little reach in from Munir.
Some more substitutions for the Braves. Coach Hogan's had a procession of players coming through. Muo checking back into the game after a short breather. Little zone, 2-3 zone on the end out of bounds here from the Raiders as Braves look to take back the league after this, knotted at 15 right now. Burton again isolated up the top.
8 on the shot clock.
He stepped out of bounds, Bartlett, on the kick from Burton. Just lost a little bit of spatial awareness there. And Liam, it's crazy how many times we've seen players step out of bounds in this competition in the corners and on wings, just from not knowing where they are on the floor. And heard Shane Heal talk about it during the NBL season on the Fox Sports calls, and cardinal sin just to not understand that floor spacing and give free possession to your opposition.
Trying to bully his way in is Reigns. Wanted the foul call, didn't come up with it. So here's Turner. Mathiang Muo. Back out to Bartlett. Here's Burton for the 3 ball. That one no good. So the Raiders get away with the one there. The Braves had the numbers. Jeez, cross-court pass risky. Here's Adnam. Chance for his first points. Drives all the way in. But no good. So got caught in 2 minds a little bit there, Jordan Adnam.
Adnam gave up the nice shot fake to get Burton off the floor and had an uncontested 3 and gave it up to drive back into the traffic and come up empty-handed. Still knotted at 15 in a clunky offensive affair so far as we see Muo miss another 3 for the Braves, and the Knox Raiders will get the last use of the basketball in the first possession of the first quarter.
8 seconds to go on the clock. Here's Mike Rose. Bartlett on him and he's fouled him. So neither team in the bonus.
Good foul on that occasion from Bartlett to make the Raiders take the ball out on the side, reset their offense with 5.2 left on the clock.
Raiders possession, 5 seconds until break.
D-Mac wants to talk it over, takes a timeout. What can we see here from the Raiders coming out of this timeout, Liam? D-Mac, where's D-Mac going to want to get a touch out of this timeout?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Looked like Mike Rose was set to take it. on the last possession, but there's a smart foul there from the Braves with 3 fouls to give, or 2 rather. What do you think, Greg? Who's the go-to here for the Raiders?
I think, trying to get Rose off some action away from the ball to get something back to Sidinian Reigns on the block. I think he's been a real focal point for them early. Getting him on the post against Ray Turner, either get something at the rim or get to the foul line right now to close out this quarter and take a lead into quarter time after, both teams a little bit disjointed offensively, a low-scoring game so far, from stark contrast to what we saw in the women's action earlier, where, really high-scoring affair in the first quarter with 27 points to the Bendigo Lady Braves. So we'll look to Mike Rose to get a catch here and inside to Sidinian Reigns on the block to, like I said, get at the rim or get himself back to the free throw line.
And been a bit of a tough start as well for Reigns. Has 2 points and 3 rebounds, and he's been active, but with that foul trouble, just been a disrupted start to the game. So certainly would be a nice confidence booster. Rose to inbound now for Knox. Hogan defending him on the inbound. Inside to Hunter. Clock winding down, 2 on the clock. Here's Rose.
Rescreen action from Reigns. Rose no good on the contested 3. Nice little set there, little wrinkle from D-Mac. Rose, I thought Rose is wide open under the basket and Hunter missed him, but still got a good look after that rescreen action with Reigns, and all tied up here at 15 into the first quarter. So interesting first quarter of play, and sure, neither coach would be truly satisfied with their team's performance after an indifferent first quarter. The Braves just shooting 43% from the field. The Raiders down at 30% from the field. So they've had plenty of possessions, in the game and generated good looks. They're just not shooting the ball at a high clip.
And the Braves with 5 turnovers here early days. I mean, we said earlier their offenses looked a little stagnant at times, and it has been in stark contrast to that free-flowing ball movement from the Lady Braves in the game before. But, they've got Reigns in foul trouble. Turner's done well down low, but if they can just increase that ball movement, that's sure to help their offense, which has been relatively low scoring here to start the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you probably got to give credit to the defensive schemes of both teams as well. They've done a good job of taking away some strengths of the opposition. We saw Burton rip one time and get on the rim. Other than that, he's been well contained by the Raiders defense. Turner's got the 6 points and 4 rebounds, but he's really had to grind for those 6 points. He hasn't been giving up any lobs at the rim out of the pick and roll situation, so their coverages in the ball screen have been good to take away those high percentage looks. On the flip side for the Braves, they've kept Damon Hire out of the paint. Adam Thosby's come up with a couple of baseline jumpers for his 4 points. Sidinian Reigns, you mentioned Liam, just the 2 points on a couple of field goal attempts, and Turner's done a good job of making him really work for that. So we could see a real defensive grind in this game the rest of the way, and both coaches have obviously prepared well for this game during the week and come up with a plan to really be disruptive defensively. And the Braves playing last night and taking that loss to Albury at home, certainly got to find some energy and generate some easy points as this game goes on. It's going to get a little harder on, coming into your 75 to 80 minutes of basketball in the past 24 hours. So
Grant to inbound now for the Raiders, and Coach D-Mac and the rest of the Knox coaching staff putting the confidence in Reigns to stick it out here in the second quarter and not pick up his 3rd foul. Malik Munir to start things off. Here's Rose over to Adnam. 13 on the shot clock. Muir doing a good job to deny Reigns. Here's Rose.
Braves did a good job of diffusing that little rescreen action on the baseline between the 2 Raiders imports as Rose. This is another 3. And again, the initial Raiders action is really good. They just can't generate the looks they want. But what's happening after the initial action is probably a concern for Darryl McDonald right now, and how they continue to flow in their offense and not just end up in isolation basketball with the whole Braves defense loaded up. As you see Muo and Turner a little ball screen action. Turner attacking Reigns, misses the fader.
And Reigns has come up with it there. Nearly fell into the arms of Turner. Malik Munir back over to Rose. So what can they do here? Into Reigns in the post. Backing his way in and puts up the hook. A little bit wild though in the end. Here's Deontay Burton for the Braves. Neither team yet to score here in this second quarter. Jordan Adnam defending Burton.
That'll be an offensive foul as Ray just stuck the chicken wing out there and clipped Adnam on the way past. An offensive foul on Ray Turner, so the Raiders will get it back.
Only the first personal for Ray Turner. Into Munir.
Adnam guarding it out there.
So Grant's got himself with a bit of space here on Muo. Tough assignment though. Muo, the length and defense too much in the end.
And Ray Turner, another big rebound. He's up to the 5 rebounds now as he attacks Raines. Raines lucky, put his hands in the cookie jar there. No foul forthcoming from the officials. See Burton out top, attacking. And that'll be Raines' 3rd foul as Deontay Burton attacked him hard off that ball screen with Ray Turner.
And you see that time on the screen, Turner with his arms way up in the air. Didn't want to give away the foul on that occasion.
Burton, good job of initiating the contact there against Raines. And now he's certainly going to have to sit probably the next 8 minutes. And I wouldn't imagine we see Sardinian Raines until the 3rd quarter now, Liam. You see James Hunter checking back in. Once again, along with Adam Thosby and Damon Hire back into the game for the Raiders. So a little smaller here, the Raiders. Trying to up the tempo a little bit. Mike Rose takes a seat as well as Mounier.
So Burton 2 of 2. Up to 5 points now in the game. Thosby checked back in just moments ago. As did James Hunter replacing Raines. Shot clock winding down once again. And Adnam throws up the little mid-range J, but now the Knox offense all of a sudden looking very stable.
Yeah, look, it feels like every shot that Knox is taking right now is really heavily contested. The Braves doing a good job defensively. Knox's ball movement's quite slow. The ball's sticking in hands a lot of dribble from guards out on wings, as you see Grant down low, no good, but Adnam's fouled on the putback attempt, and this will be a bit of relief for the Raiders. They get to the foul line, get a couple of free ones. You see Thosby on the replay here, really pushing hard in transition. Finds Grant wide open under the basket. Can't convert, but Adnam fouled by Hansen on the putback.
Chance for his first points this evening, Jordan Adnam. And certainly when the offense is not coming easy, perfect way to get back on the scoreboard is by way of the free-throw line, as the first one just rattles home.
Now look for the Braves coming back the other way. Go straight back to Ray Turner on the block against James Hunter or Simon Grant. A little extended pressure here from the Raiders. A little 1-2-2 press action as trying to disrupt the Braves, and they do a good job here as Hire now picks up Burton in the half court.
Look to double Burton. He gets it over to Mathiang Muo. This 3-ball no good, so another miss.
Now that's a poor shot from Muo. He had Ray Turner wide open on the baseline with Adnam in a rotation. I think that ball's got to go straight down to Ray Turner, and the big fella wasn't happy. He certainly let him know, hey, I need a touchdown there, and I can sympathise with Ray. These guards that hoist up threes over our heads when we have mismatches, and Muo yet to hit a 3 in this game, so Ray certainly has a strong case for wanting that touch in the low post. As Thosby with 6 on the clock, getting some horns action for the Raiders.
And Mathiang Muo hitting 3 3-pointers a game this season, so shooting at over 40%. Obviously always been a sharpshooter, Muo. But here's Grant inside to Hunter. Just bowled over Burton. Play on, says the referee. Damon Hire bullying his way in. Tough finish.
Tough finish. And that's what Damon Hire does so well. You see his body control and ability to absorb contact. He's a good, strong guy. You know, he meets Burton here at the rim and just goes up through him and finishes through that contact. Terrific job from Damon Hire there. And you know, we've seen that from Hire at the NBL level. We've seen it at the QBL level and in New Zealand last year. So the Raiders certainly need more of that from him tonight to take advantage of his skill set.
Showcase the athleticism there, just rising up and having the strength to finish over the defender.
Little confusion here. Oh, we're good to go, and Chris Hogan will bring it back inbound. for the Braves.
So Rayner over to Hogan. Still in the backcourt. Here's Hansen.
Out to Muo out top, isolated against Hire. Gets him in off the ground. Nice little floater from Muo, but again, no good. The Raiders will come up with it.
Hansen did well just to clean it up there. Here's Hire. Oh, nice pass into Adnam. Misses on the lay-in, though.
Great push from Damon Hire there and good find. Jordan Adams just bowled it on the catch and couldn't get the finish. But that's the kind of looks the Raiders will want to create. Get a good stop, get out and run through Thosby and Hire. See Muo now on the block against Adnam. He'll look to go to work here as James Hunter's waiting.
And Hogan over to Turner.
Down to 3 on the shot clock, 2. Turner with the long contested 2 and knocks it down in the face of James Hunter. And that's certainly something that Ray Turner didn't have in his game when he arrived in Australia in 2013. And he's worked hard at his craft through multiple seasons in state leagues in Western Australia, Queensland and Victoria, and with the Sydney Kings last year to add that element to his game.
So Hunter. Higher back down to Hunter. He's got Hogan on him. The hook shot a little short.
Nice find from Hire there on the pick and roll, and Hunter had to do better and finish that.
So Rayner now with a heap of space. No good though on the pull-up 3. Thosby the other way. Geez, Turner's just bowled over Grant there. So that'll be his second personal, Ray Turner.
Maybe a little frustration foul there from Ray. He hasn't had a touch. He flipped the ball in a late shot clock there, and he's just shoved on Simon Grant's back there, and the Raiders will get a chance to take it out from the side. See some fresh bodies coming in for both squads. And Casey Marshall in the game for the Raiders for his first action, and Jake Lloyd checking back in for the Braves.
And here is Casey Marshall for his first touch. Thosby for 3. That one goes for Adam Thosby. The 3-ball drops, so the Knox Raiders take the lead. Just their second 3-pointer of the game. They're 2 of 10 from beyond the arc.
Certainly what Thosby's been known for throughout his career. Spent a year with the Sydney Kings and played quite well in the BBL in the UK, as we see Matthew Muo finally open his account from the 3-point line as he knocks that down. The answering triple to keep this one tied at 22. Ooh, a flurry of scoring in the last 60 seconds after a slow start to the second quarter, as we see Damon Hire showcase his size and strength again and go right through Andronicus for the easy 2.
Yeah, another tough finish, and geez, with 4 minutes to go in the first half, 24-22 is quite a low-scoring game. Here's Andronicus checking back in moments ago. Nice pass to Burton. Back out to Muo. Chance for his second 3. But Hunter cleans it up for Knox. So Thosby pushing the pace here. Got Muo ahead of him.
And that'll be a foul on Jake Lloyd as he wraps up Thosby on the offensive rebounding contest. Good push from the Raiders there, and Thosby able to get on the rim and wasn't able to finish, but Hire will take it out from the baseline. So the Raiders get a chance to reset their offense with 3:50 to go. More fresh bodies coming back in for the Braves. But Jordan Mangan seeing his first action this evening as he checks in for Hansen.
So Hire to inbound. Hands it back off to Hire. Goes baseline. Once again, trying to bully his way in, but blocked on that attempt. So Muo now. He's got 2 Knox defenders ahead of him, though. Jake Lloyd. Burton to reset. Just working on Hunter.
Good D from Hunter, staying down.
What can he do here, Burton?
Will attack again. Almost threw it away as Jake Lloyd, with 3 on the shot clock, isolated against Hire. A nice crossover. Makes this sweet 2 from the baseline after he shook Hire with that double cross.
Nice finish by Jake Lloyd as the shot clock expired there. 24 apiece. Here's Hunter.
Forces the action against Andronicus there, I think. A bit of patience there from the Raiders might have been in order. You see Jake Lloyd again forcing action at the rim in transition, but Muo picks up the scraps and drops it in for an easy 2.
Up to 5 points now in the game, Matthew Muo, but has struggled shooting the ball in this one. 25% from the field so far. Inside to Hunter. Simon Grant for 3. Andronicus will clean it up. So Lloyd now. His team leading by 2. He's picked up his dribble. They come with the double. Gets it back out to Deontay Burton. Pulls up. Burton.
It's a tough contested 3 by Burton. Hire got a hand on the shot late. It's Hire wide open on the skip from Thosby.
Back it back out to Thosby. Gets around Muo. He's Hire now. From the corner. There we go.
Damon Hire, terrific second quarter. And he's up to 7 points, joins Thosby as the leading scorer for the Raiders. So they skip out to a 1-point lead. Just under 2 to go in the second quarter. See Jake Lloyd take the long 3. Great job by Muo on the glass and works his way for another 2. Again, Muo's really come to the party in the second quarter along with Hire to generate some offense for their teams.
Rebound number 4 for Mathiang Muo, and you just see he's often has such a size advantage at his position. Damon Hire now just letting the shot clock wind down. 7 on the clock, pulls up from mid-range. That one a little flat, so Jake Lloyd.
With 3 or 4 possessions left in this second quarter, and both teams still looking to get into rhythm offensively as we see another contested fadeaway jumper from Lloyd on the first side of offense. So certainly not a, as Muo knocks down the contested 3 from Simon Grant. As I was just about to say, certainly not an offensive display that we saw from the women's fixture in this first half as Braves take a 4-point lead inside the last minute. Hire on the rim. He's fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2 as Andronicus came over on the help. Couldn't just get that rotation done quick enough though.
And Hire's been really aggressive here in this second period, finding his way to the hoop and drawing the contact as Abe Knock will check in for the first time this evening.
It's something we haven't seen from Damon Hire consistently across this NBL1 season. It's something he's really good at, and we've seen when he's attacked, he's got finishes at the rim, he's got himself to the foul, and he's got created opportunities for wide open looks for his teammates, but he hasn't done it consistently, and I know he was carrying an injury coming into the NBL season. It didn't really start the year the way he wanted to, and being 100% healthy, missed a couple of games early on, so I guess he's just still trying to find his rhythm and his way with a new club and a new group. So over these last 2 rounds, see really what he's capable of as who is a player who's certainly an NBL quality athlete.
2 of 2 from the line on that occasion. 38 seconds remaining here in the first half as we hear the State Basketball Centre music get pumped way up. Burton crossing his way in. And his Rose are off to the races now. Burton chasing him. And the lay-in attempt no good. Abe Knock a chance for his first points. No score for Damon Hire.
We've got a foul. We've got a foul in the rebounding contest. We've got no bucket. Daniel Batty waves it away. I believe Abe Neok will go to the line, shoot the 2.
Abe Neok appeared in 15 games this season off the Knox bench. Just over 6 minutes a game. Just 23 years of age.
See Daniel Hansen check back in for the last possession for the Braves. Neok knocks down the first. The Raiders have done a good job here in covering for Sardinian Reigns. There's 3 fouls as well. They've been able to plug the gap with James Hunter and Neok and Simon Grant, spending a little bit of time at the 5 as well as Neok cleans up his own miss. And Ray Turner says, no, do not bring that into my house, young fella. But the Raiders will get the last shot of the first half.
Mike Rose now had the last shot. Here's Abe Neok again, gets that one to go. Ray Turner said no on the last one. He gets it to go there. Hansen ahead. Here is Turner. Last shot coming up. That's a deep 3. Oh, it's banked in.
Ray Turner showing his range twice and a half as he banks home the 3 to give the Bendigo Braves a 2-point lead heading into the halftime break. And Darren McDonald will shake his head and say, well done, mate. We can't do anything better than what we just did there.
Wow, Ray Turner banks in the deep 3. So that'll give the Braves a lead at halftime, 34-32. It's been a low-scoring first half of action, and both teams sort of struggling to get their offense flowing. What do you think the message will be at the halftime break, Greg?
Yeah, look, from both coaches there, you just touched on it, Liam. The offense has been a little bit clunky. The ball movement's probably not where D-Mac and Coach Hogan would like it to be. So addressing that, making sure we're getting the ball through 2 and 3 sides of offense, as we see Ray Turner just beat that shot on the replay there. But the message at halftime, defense has been fantastic. Both teams are communicating at a high level, getting their rotations done in the half court. But offensively, just getting the ball through hands, getting back to what our purpose is, what's our identity offensively, and how can we generate some more easy buckets rather than a lot of contested twos that we're taking right now.
Quite uncharacteristic for these two teams as well. Bendigo averaging 85 points a game this season, Knox around 81. So the scoreboard as it stands is quite out of line for both these two teams. With that last three-pointer, Ray Turner becomes the game's leading scorer with 11 points and 7 rebounds. Meanwhile, for Knox, Damon Hire has 9 points. So we'll take a break here for 5 minutes just at halftime. We'll be back very soon to give you the second half of this NBL1 round 14 matchup here in Indigenous round. The Raiders and the Braves coming right up soon. To see the NBL1 supporting Indigenous round and NAIDOC week. He's Hire.
Damon Hire, not a natural point guard, but has certainly crafted his game. I think, the
Thosby now. Nearly turned it over. Liam Grant.
Simon Grant knocking down the triple. The late shot clock.
Thosby now. Nearly turned it over. Liam Grant.
Simon Grant knocking down the triple. The late shot clock on that one as he makes his way back into the play, and hopefully he's not hurt.
Turner now working on Rains. Good defense there from Rains, but he's been called for the foul.
On that one as he makes his way back into the play, and hopefully he's not hurt.
Turner now working on Rains. Good defense there from Rains, but he's been called for the foul.
Tim, who started as imports and became Australian, so certainly would be great for Ray to be naturalised.
Here he is, and that one just rattles home for Ray Turner.
Thanks for the Braves. I think he's got a touch on the post every time down the floor right now as he throws that one out of bounds for the Braves. I think he's got a touch on the post every time down the floor right now as he throws that one out of bounds.
It's 7-5. Hanson once again inside to Turner, working on Rains. Scoops it up and around, but good D from Rains there. Once again inside to Ray Turner. What can he do here? Spinning, puts it up. He's drawn the foul, Turner.
That'll be Rains' second as well. So
over to Hogan. Here's Turner again. Now he'll work down low. It's fallen out to Rayner. Drains the three. I'm not sure if Turner, they got knocked out to Rayner. Just a little strong in the layup attempt. Looks dangerous off the dribble though with that in and out move. And he's come up with the steal nearly. Run out of real estate, but good hustle. Just a little strong in the layup attempt. Looks dangerous off the dribble though with that in and out move. And he's come up with the steal nearly. Run out of real estate, but good hustle. Fruitless trips up the floor for Bendigo. Here's Damon Hire. And there's a foul call. Reset with a fresh 14. Here's Munier. What can he do here? Andronicus on him. He finds his way to the hoop. And he's fouled by here. Andronicus on Rains. Out to Deontay Burton. Oh, all the way to the hoop for two. Too easy.
He's explosive, Deontay Burton.
Here. Andronicus on Rains. Out to Deontay Burton. Oh, all the way to the hoop for two. Too easy.
He's explosive, Deontay Burton. High-flying antics, and he just ripped by there. The easy layup on the rim.
Into Rains.
Rains going to work inside with a tough finish. Good patience in the paint from Rains. High-flying antics, and he just ripped by there. The easy layup on the rim.
Into Rains.
Rains going to work inside with a tough finish. Good patience in the paint from Rains. Nice find from Munier too.
Here's Lloyd on the wing. Inside to Turner. It's come off the backboard though. And out of bounds. So the 8 seconds to go on the clock. Here's Mike Rose. Bartlett on him and he's fouled him. 8 seconds to go on the clock. Here's Mike Rose. Bartlett on him and he's fouled him. Neither team yet to score here in this second quarter. Jordan Adnam defending Burton.
That'll be an offensive foul as Ray just stuck the chicken wing out. Attacks Reigns. Reigns lucky. Put his hands in the cookie jar there. No foul forthcoming from the officials. See Burton out top attacking. And that'll be Reigns' third foul as Deontay attacks Reigns. Reigns lucky. Put his hands in the cookie jar there. No foul forthcoming from the officials. See Burton out top attacking. And that'll be Reigns' third foul as Deontay. Knox's ball movement's quite slow. The ball's sticking in hands a lot of dribble from guards out on wings, as you see Grant down low, no good, but Adam's fouled on the putback attempt.
3 3-pointers a game this season, so shooting at over 40%. Obviously always been a sharpshooter, Muo. But here's Grant inside to Hunter. 3 3-pointers a game this season, so shooting at over 40%. Obviously always been a sharpshooter, Muo. But here's Grant inside to Hunter. Sharpshooter, Muo. But here's Grant inside to Hunter. Just bowled over Burton. Play on, says the referee. Damon Hire bullying his way in. Tough finish. Sharpshooter, Muo. But here's Grant inside to Hunter. Just bowled over Burton. Play on, says the referee. Damon Hire bullying his way in. Tough finish. Now with a heap of space. No good though on the pull-up three. Thosby the other way. Geez, Turner's just bowled over Grant. Now with a heap of space. No good though on the pull-up three. Thosby the other way. Geez, Turner's just bowled over Grant.
Jake Lloyd checking back in for the Braves.
And here is Casey Marshall for his first touch. Thosby for three. That one goes for Adam Thosby.
And Jake Lloyd checking back in for the Braves.
And here is Casey Marshall for his first touch. Thosby for three. That one goes for Adam Thosby.
The answering triple to keep this one tied at 22. Ooh, a flurry of scoring in the last 60 seconds after a slow start to the second quarter. As we see Damon Hire. The answering triple to keep this one tied at 22. Ooh, a flurry of scoring in the last 60 seconds after a slow start to the second quarter. As we see Damon Hire.
But Hunter cleans it up for Knox. So Thosby pushing the pace here. Got Muo ahead of him.
And that'll be a foul on Jake Lloyd as he wraps up Thosby.
Welcome back to the State Basketball Centre for this round 14 matchup between the Knox Raiders and the Bendigo Braves. My name is Liam Ellison. I'll be joining you alongside Greg Vanderjagt for this second half here at the State Basketball Centre. Well, Greg, relatively low scoring first half. What needs to change?
Yeah, look, we touched on it just before halftime, Liam. The ball movement from both teams has just been a little bit stagnant. A lot of dribble, getting stuck in hands. So I think both coaches would hopefully have addressed that at halftime. You know, get back to their focal points and what their purpose is offensively, and we should see this game really open up if some teams can address that. But look, defensively, I think both teams have been really solid, taking away some strengths to their opposition. Sardinian Reigns with the 3 fouls in the first half certainly created some problems for head coach Darryl McDonald, but the Raiders found a way to fight through it with some good play from James Hunter, and Abe Neoc coming to the game late with some energy and create a couple easy buckets for the Raiders. So, you know, let's see the stars evolve in this one. The Ray Turners, Damon Hire, Adam Thosby, Deontay Burton, Matthew Muo. You know, which guy's going to stand up and take over this game in the second half for his team?
Do you think Coach Darryl McDonald will start with Reigns, given that he's on the 3 fouls here?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think you roll the dice early and see if they can open this game up a little bit against Bendigo, and Reigns can find his groove a little bit and play through those 3 fouls with discipline. But, you know, his teammates got to help him out around him too and not put him under pressure at the rim. You know, getting attacked on dribble penetration and bits and pieces like that, where Reigns can just do what he does well, guard Turner one-on-one on the low post, rebound the ball, you know, get out and run in transition. And, you know, Mike Rose, and we'll see an interesting starting lineup here from the Raiders with no Hire as he sits to start this third quarter.
Well, we've been somewhat robbed of that matchup today between Ray Turner and Reigns. Obviously, Reigns with the foul trouble, but he will start this second half. So Turner, the game's leading scorer at the moment, 11 points and 7 rebounds. A couple of blocks as well, including an emphatic block at the end there of the first half before the deep buzzer-beating 3 as well. So Turner right in the thick of it. We'll see if Reigns can soon join him.
As we will see Damon Hyde start the third quarter. It must have been a bathroom break for the Raiders star. As see Chris Hogan to inbound to start the third quarter here for the Braves. They'll take first possession through Hogan and Deontay Burton.
Well, the Braves taking a 2-point lead into this third period. Burton to start things off, and Damon Hire as well, who was fantastic in that second quarter. Here's Muo. He came alive as well after a rough shooting start. Burton around the Turner screen. Draws the foul and one. Nice finish, Deontay Burton.
Good job of the Braves right there, going straight at Sedinian Reigns in that high ball screen. High got caught, hung up on the ball screen from Turner, and gets a little push in the back on Deontay Burton, who's going to go to the line for the bonus as well.
Burton up to 6 points in the game. A couple of assists as well. As the free throw no good there, so can't convert on the and one opportunity. Here's Mike Rose for Knox. Muo right up in Thosby's face. Reigns comes with the screen. Big screen on Burton.
Turner got away with a foul there as find Hire wide open in the corner for that three. And he shoots the ball incredibly well from the corners. His time under Aaron Fern in Cairns in that flow system where corner threes are so highly valued at late shot clock, and Hire does a good job there finding space and knocking that down in a nice half-court set from the Raiders. See Ray Turner now isolated against Reigns out top. They'll look to go back straight back to Deontay Burton against Hire.
Nearly ran out of real estate. It'll stay with Bendigo, just trying to find Hansen in the corner.
It's 3 seconds on the shot clock for the Braves here, so look for the ball to get in Deontay Burton's hands in a hurry. Get something either pulling up or going to the rim.
Muo now into Turner. Geez, straight away, end of shot clock.
We saw him banking the three from pretty much the same spot at the other end right on the stroke of halftime, but unsuccessful this time.
So Rose now over to Thosby. Reigns comes with the screen. Thosby will pull up. There we go. Adam Thosby with another three-pointer.
Gives the Raiders back that 2-point lead on back-to-back threes from Hire and Thosby, their two lead guards.
So both teams trading buckets as Rose gets called for the foul. Tough to tell from here, but almost ripped it right out of his hands as we see the Thosby three once again. Confident, in motion.
The Braves will reset their offense with 15 on the shot clock.
Over to Hansen. Muo trying to post up on Rose and gets it. So what can he do here? 7 on the shot clock now. Muo to pull up. Andronicus checking in moments ago, and he's come up with the team rebound for Bendigo. A fresh 14 now for the Braves. Here's Burton. Driving hard to the hoop. Nice take from Deontay Burton.
Deontay Burton come out very aggressive. We see Thosby get loose on the break, but can't convert the layup, and it'll stay with Knox. But Deontay Burton early in the second half has come out very aggressive. It's a real change in mindset from him, as you see here on the ball screen, as Reigns just can't provide the help with those 3 fouls, and Burton finishing nicely at the rim. Mike Rose gets free on the end out of bounds.
Bit of a breakdown there.
Yeah, it was real breakdown from the Braves. Seen they had 3 guys in zone and 2 in man-to-man, and Mike Rose got free for the easy layup.
Andronicus posting up on Reigns. But here's Hansen now.
Some interesting substitutions from Coach Hogan early in the third, with Ray Turner sitting with just the 2 fouls, as well as we see Muo knock down the long 2, tie it back up at 40.
Rose now. Driving baseline. Higher in the corner. Hit one from the other corner just minutes ago, but an air ball on that occasion. Burton now. Just charges into Hire. No call.
Tim Mills eventually makes the call, and makes the right call as well, I believe. Great job from Damon Hire there defensively, as he picked the hesitation from Burton, took the contact right through the chest, and that is a charge every day of the week as Tim Mills makes the late call. Deontay Burton doesn't like it, but look, I'm sure he'll watch the tape there and Yep, that was certainly an offensive foul. Great job by High defensively.
40 apiece here, 3 minutes into the second half. Simon Grant to inbound for Knox. Rose just ahead of the pack. Now we'll slow it up. Reigns once again with the screen. Got Andronicus on him now. Nice take from Rose.
Tough finish from Mike Rose, but this is the is it sustainable, just the isolation ball from the Raiders? You know, we talked about at halftime the need for ball movement and floor spacing, and you know, it just seems to stick a little bit with Mike Rose, but great finish on that occasion. As Muo goes back to work against Rose and finishes over the smaller Mike Rose in the low post. And Thosby trying to get his troops to speed it up a little bit as they make their way up the floor, and he's a little frustrated with his group right now.
Well, Matthew Muo now up to 14 points in the game, and after he started the game 1 of 7, has really been hot since. A deep three, no good there for Hogan. So here's Simon Grant the other way. Thosby, he's been active. Over to Higher. From the wing, the three ball. No good there. But Grant comes up with it now. Opps against going up as he sees Andronicus there. Geez, a lot of contact from Burton. Play on, says the ref. Here's Reigns. Another go for Higher. Different result. That one drops for Damon Higher.
Great find from Sedini and Reigns as well. Went to work on Andronicus and found the open Damon Higher as the defense collapsed on the post play.
The Raiders now take a 3-point lead. Hogan will slow it up. So Burton with 12 on the shot clock. Hogan with the three ball now.
Can't answer at the other end, and the Raiders get a chance to jump out to what might be a 6-point lead, which I believe would be the biggest lead of the night. It's been a really tight affair.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go. As you see, Hanson check back into the game for the Braves along with Lloyd. Again, Coach Hogan keeping the subs circulating and makes it really tough for his guys to get into a rhythm, and you know, not playing more than 3 and 4 minutes at a time, trying to rest those legs on the second night of a back-to-back for the Braves.
Thosby, geez, good defense there from Bendigo. No, it's a foul call. So Thosby to go to the line for 2 shots. And it's been the flavour of the game, really, Greg. A lot of sort of late shot clock attempts. Good defense from both teams.
It has been. And we see as Thosby missed that one, but again, it's that late clock contested long mid-range twos that, you know, we know from a statistical point of view are probably the least efficient shots of basketball. And as the game's evolved, you know, coaches trending and systems trending towards wanting layups and threes, you know, and these two teams have held up a bunch of mid-range, you know, contested twos tonight. So, you know, will we see an adjustment, or is that by design?
Thosby misses on the first. Just rattled out. As he makes the second. Interesting to see no rebounders in there for Knox.
No, as they set this little extended pressure again, as Thosby a little fun and games with the officials and the Braves and not touching the basketball for a delay of game. See some extended pressure now. There's a little zone press here from the Raiders. Just change the tempo on the Braves a little bit as Burton over to Muo into the trapping area. Puts his head in the noose for a second, but finds Lloyd, finds Ray Turner, who'll finish underneath, you would think. No good on that occasion, but Lloyd, extra possession, and Thosby will pick up the foul on the reach on the offensive rebounding contest.
Turner yet to score in this second half so far. Bit of an uncharacteristic miss on that occasion. Just another break in play. As they sort out the foul call on the score table. So Matthew Muo now to inbound. Mike Rose not giving him much space. Burton. Damon High defending him. Into Turner now. He's got Hunter on him. Works and draws the foul on Hunter. Nice little aggressive play there from Ray Turner.
See here, Turner on the catch just rips. Knows he has a quickness advantage on Hunter and just rips. And Hunter, as soon as he puts those two hands on the body of Turner, it's a foul. And Ray will get back to the line. And that's a really favourable matchup for Ray Turner. Raines has moved himself over to guard Matt Andronicus to avoid picking up that fourth foul against the aggressive Turner. But that's a great matchup for the Braves. And Ray Turner being able to use his quickness and athleticism advantage against James Hunter, who's certainly going to toil hard, but is not the athlete that Ray Turner is. Ray misses the first again. Just shooting that 50% from the line tonight. Knocks down the back end. Cut the lead back to 3 for the Raiders.
Once again, Turner's free throw shooting, just letting him down a touch, but as you said, a great move there on Hunter. He's higher.
Isolated against Andronicus. He'll have like that matchup as he steps back and takes the 3. No good as Deontay Burton tried to switch back on that one. The former Cairns Taipans teammates, I believe, Matt Andronicus and Damon Hire from Hire's early years up in Cairns, and Android's back end.
You're doubled. Travel call, says the referee.
Just shuffled the feet there as the double team came, and he picked up the ball. Great job by Thosby and Hunter here. You see Muo just picked up that pivot foot as he tried to work his way out of trouble. Higher now.
Over to Rose. Raines comes with the screen. Rose with the floater. Lovely touch from Mike Rose.
And that'll be a timeout for Coach Hogan and the Bendigo Braves as the Knox Raiders take a 48-43 lead. And offense has started to flow a little bit here. It's been a much more pleasurable viewing experience here in the third quarter, Liam. From an offensive standpoint, as the game started to open up, Mike Rose has done a good job getting back to the paint, as we see the floater there. For Bendigo, early in that third quarter, Deontay Burton was really aggressive and get back on the rim. How do they find their way back into that, Burton, Turner, high pick and roll and try and attack those Knox Raiders defenders?
It certainly has been a really clunky game so far, low scoring, and also, like, in the context of this game, a 5-point margin feels like a huge margin, given that it's been just back and forth.
It really does. With 48 points with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. I think both teams, based on their season numbers, would be in the high 50s, low 60s by now. So, we saw it in the women's game, a 20-point lead for the Bendigo Braves was cut to single figures in a matter of minutes by the Raiders. In this one, a 15-point ball game, it's probably curtains, the offensive outpoint these teams are getting. So good time out there from the Braves head coaching staff to settle things, realign their purpose offensively, get back to what they were doing to start this quarter.
Malik Munir sees his first minutes of the second half here for Knox.
Checks in for Damon Hire, and I thought Hire had a terrific start to that third quarter as well. So, here, I'm sure it'll be a quick breather for Damon Hire, and he'll be back on the floor to keep attacking for the Raiders as Burton takes a contested 3, unable to convert over Thosby.
Hunter comes up with it. They double him down low. Just nearly turns it over. Munir retrieves it though. He's got Thosby in the corner. Now we'll pull up.
Thosby will take the long 2 and knock it down. Cardinal sin of the toe on the line there, but good job by the Raiders, Munir and Thosby in transition.
Thosby's looked deadly, especially in his third period. Here's Lloyd. Burton at the top now. Muo. Just 8 on the shot clock.
And we just see the spacing of the Braves when they have the Turner and Andronicus in the game together. There's just no space for their guards, as we see Jake Lloyd beat the shot clock with the deep 3. Talking about the Braves spacing when they have Andronicus and Turner in the game together. Not a lot of space to get in the paint with the 2 big bodies in there. So they've got to find ways to be able to spread the floor a little bit and give guys room to operate either on the low post or out of the ball screen.
So Raines now looking to hand off to Mike Rose, and does. It's a 4-point lead to the Raiders. Here's Raines. Oh my goodness.
Ray Turner met him at the rim and said, "No, sir." One of the league's best shot blockers and one of the league's best athletes meet at the rim. Ray Turner with a terrific contest, as we see on the replay here. Mike Rose with the great find of Sedinian Raines, and Ray Turner went upstairs and met him at the apex. Terrific job in rotation by Ray Turner. Some great camera work down there by our team tonight as well. credit where credit is due.
Hopefully we get to see some more of that between the two star bigs here, Rains and Ray Turner.
I'm sure we'll see that on the top 10 of the NBL1 during the week as well.
Absolutely.
James Hunter knocks down the open triple on the find from Thosby. That's a 7-point lead now for the Raiders with 2 minutes to go here in the third.
It's all Knox Raiders at the moment. Just a 7-point lead, but it does feel like quite a buffer at the moment. Here's Hansen. Muo working on Hunter. Nice drive inside.
Can't finish. Good putback from Ray Turner, lurking around the rim to do what he does best.
So Rose now. Oh, drives around Muo. Nice work. Jaminia from the wing. The three no good there. So a minute and a half remaining in the third period. It's a 5-point lead in favour of the Knox Raiders. Geez, a lot of contact there on Burton, and it will be a foul.
Burton's tried to take advantage of his size against Mania, and he'll get himself to the foul line. Shoot the two. They see Adam Thosby check out of the game.
They are in the bonus as well for the remaining minute 26, the Bendigo Braves.
Burton will try and cut it back to a 3-point lead this last 90 seconds.
Bit short on the first one. Burton with 8 points in this game so far. Averaging 13.5 points per game and 5.5 assists as well for Burton. He splits a pair at the line, and now we'll take a break at the bench as Tanner Rayner to come back in.
Chris Hogan checks back in as well, and Muo checking out of the game. So again, wholesale changes for head coach David Hogan and the Bendigo Braves.
Malik Mania over to Mike Rose. Geez, he's stepped out of bounds in the end, so good defense from Jake Lloyd. Probably an unnecessary turnover for the Raiders. Just the pass was a bit too wayward.
Ray Turner against Sedinian Reigns. Out to Hogan. Back inside to Turner as he finishes in the paint. He's up to 16 points and 10 rebounds now, so already with a double-double through 3 quarters for one of the league's leading players, Ray Turner. See another turnover from the Raiders. Now the Braves will get a chance to tie it or take the lead on this possession after just what it seemed only a few possessions ago. The Raiders had a 7-point advantage.
11 seconds on the shot clock, 41 on the game clock. Throws up the three, and it goes in for Bendigo. So they'll take the lead, 54-53. And Hansen with the 3 ball. Knox with a chance to answer now. Josh West seeing his first minutes this evening.
Rains out top. Raiders are a little bit stuck here. They're lacking some direction without Thosby and Hire on the floor as James Hunter bullies his way to the rim. Gets the 2 and gives the Raiders back the lead. Braves will get the last shot of the third quarter here as Hansen on the penetration, and the reaching foul will put him on the free throw line. And again, a lack of discipline from the Raiders, that's certainly going to drive Darryl McDonald nuts, and he's not happy on the sideline. And D-Mac went to his bench with about 3 to go in the third as the Raiders really gained some momentum there, and the Braves has done a good job of chipping away and you know, got himself back in the ball game after what seemed the Raiders really took control of that this quarter.
Hit a big 3 just moments ago, did Daniel Hansen. And now a couple of trips at the free throw line as well. It was his first bucket, that 3 ball. And make that 5 points. So the Braves retake the lead. Munir will chuck it up from half court. Surely not. And that'll do it for the end of 3. 56-55. The Braves with the lead. The Raiders with a team of most of the third period, but gave it up at the end there as we see that Hansen 3 once again. Big shot from him. We're in for a tight finish, Greg.
Yeah, we absolutely are. We've almost finished the third right where we started it with the Braves with a slim lead after a late flurry, and the Raiders would have been feeling good about how they'd controlled that game and really seemed to take it to their advantage through the middle part of that third quarter, but then all undone in the matter of about 2 minutes down the stretch there was some really good play from the Braves and, getting some stops, forcing some turnovers, getting themselves to the free throw line. Ray Turner up to 16 points and 10 rebounds to finish the third with a double-double already. Matthew Muir with the 14 points, and Deontay Burton was really aggressive in that third quarter, which is a good sign for the Braves. Going down the stretch, if they can lean on Burton, Turner, and Muir, their three offensive guns to carry the load and re-establish their identity offensively, they should be in good shape. But at the same time, I think Coach Darryl McDonald for the Knox Raiders is probably going to go back to Adam Thosby and Damon Hire really quickly in this to start this fourth quarter. Hire's got the 15 points, Thosby with 13 of their two leading scorers, and both of them sat for that last 90 seconds, which is when coincidentally the Raiders ran into a little bit of trouble and lost their direction offensively. So some work to do for both teams, but certainly the game is right in the balance with a 1-point lead to the Braves.
Do you expect that Coach Darryl McDonald might switch Reigns back onto Ray Turner here in the last?
Yeah, look, absolutely. Now, Reigns has done a good job of playing almost that whole third quarter and not picking up a foul. So certainly we'll see Reigns go back to that matchup with Ray Turner. The Raiders line up with Grant at the 4 here. Reigns is the only matchup for Turner. So we get to see what was our marquee matchup to start this one, to start the fourth.
He's delivered us a couple of stunning highlights so far, Ray Turner. A big block, a buzzer-beating three-pointer in that huge block before on Reigns, who tried to posterize Turner. Exciting stuff, some NBL top 10 highlights, no doubt. As we see some dignitaries honoured on the floor.
As you see, the Braves start this quarter with both Muo and Burton on the bench, so maybe a sign that those two guys are going to, take a couple of minutes here, catch their breath, get their legs on this second night of their back-to-back, and really close out this game for the last 7-8 minutes. And Coach Hogan will look to his star players, to take control of the game down the stretch. You see Damon Hire gets the first chance for the Raiders in the fourth quarter.
Josh West remains in the game for Knox.
And Reigns was wide open on that pick and roll with no backside help there from the Braves.
Here is Reigns, off to Hire. Got Turner on him, over to Simon Grant now. Nice finish from Simon Grant.
Tough finish. Good defense there from the Braves though. Ray Turner, not only is he a great individual defender, his team defense is outstanding. His ability to switch and contain smaller guys, do a great job in the pick and roll, is such an asset, to his team. Chris Hogan lights it up from the corner and gives the Braves back a 2-point lead. Referee's just confirming it was a 3. Daniel Batty and Tim Mills. The Braves get a chance now to set their D and really disrupt the Raiders.
So the Braves leading by 2 here early on in the fourth. Here's Adam Thosby. Him along with Damon Hire have been integral to the Raiders as turns it over to Chris Hogan now. Costly turnover from Thosby there.
Now, Chris Hogan's been in this league a long time and been a good player in this league for a long time. So having his veteran steady head and presence down the stretch is going to be huge for the Braves here. As we see Lloyd missing the paint as the Raiders come back the other way and turn it over again. And 2 straight possessions with turnovers for the Raiders, and Darryl McDonald can only shake his head in frustration as they, those opportunities that they're creating.
And they've been pretty good with the turnovers so far this evening. I mean, that's only their, I believe, 5th turnover of the game. So back-to-back possessions. They
had just the 1 turnover in the first half too, Liam. So, four turnovers in the second half, and they probably all come within this last 4 or 5 minutes of play where the Braves have got themselves back in the games. You see Ray Turner miss on the short jumper on the nice pass. Nice little short roll action there with Deontay Burton.
So West now. Raiders need a steadier after a couple of turnovers. Here's Thosby over to Grant. West, single digits on the shot clock. It's working on Hansen. Grant's got to go.
Another turnover.
Looked like he was trying to find Hire in the corner, but turns it over. So Hogan now. Chance to extend the lead to a couple of possessions now for Bendigo. Deontay Burton pulls up, and he's drawn the foul on Rains. That's his fourth.
Rains with a late contest there, as we see. Deontay Burton shook Damon high here with a little in-out dribble and got some separation, and Rains was just late. You know, if he does a better job of the pick-and-roll defense and is attached to the line of the screen, you know, he probably doesn't pick up that foul and can get a better contest. So, you know, that'll frustrate Darryl McDonald. Now Rains has got to sit for a couple of minutes here before DMAC can go back to him. So, you know, just that little defensive positioning, being a little bit more engaged in the play, won't result in the late foul on trying to contest when you're sprinting out of the paint on Deontay Burton.
And misses on the first free-throw attempt as well. As Burton goes 1 of 2. Up to double digits now in the game with 10.
We see Mathieu Muo check back in the game for Hansen, and Muo probably should play the rest of this one now as the Braves have re-established a 3-point lead.
It's been all Bendigo really the last probably 6 or 7 minutes of game time. But only a one-possession ball game nonetheless. Here's Thosby working his way inside on Muo.
Good D from Muo there to contest. Use his length, make Thosby take the tough fadeaway. Another stop for the Braves.
Over to Burton. Working on higher. He's come up with the steal for Knox. So here's Grant ahead. They've got numbers here, Knox. And he's turned it over. So Higher just fumbled it.
Again, so we're just... Knox have just taken the one shot. So you see the defense there. Higher might have got away with a foul on that, but great effort from Deontay Burton to have that next play mentality and just stay in the game. You know, hustles back hard and ends up forcing the turnover from the Raiders. So, you know, Knox now just one shot attempt in their last 6 possessions, which has certainly got to be a concern for Coach Darryl McDonald. We might see some changes being rung here shortly, or a timeout to, you know, settle the troops a little and re-establish what we're trying to achieve offensively.
Muo thought about shooting it. Just letting the clock wind down as they survey their options. Bendigo. Turner comes with a screen for Hogan. That's a long 2, and it goes for Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan knocking it down. Again, a stagnant offensive set from the Braves that ends up that the Raiders really just need to do a better job of their pick-and-roll D. They just seem to have breakdowns all over the place anytime the Braves get into a ball screen. So look for Burton to get straight back into, as we see, Muo with the deep
nice
catch.
Pass.
Just muscled Adam Thosby out of the way there. And look, Thosby's just got to do a better job of trying to get to a front on that post against a bigger player, and a frustration turnover from Thosby as he tried to push on the attack.
That's really been a problem here in this 4th period for Knox. Another turnover. Up to 8 in the game, yeah.
See Burton now isolated out the top against Higher. They want to get back to the post here with Thosby and Muir, and Thosby picks up a frustration foul wrestling with Mathieu.
There's a lot of contact between those two as Thosby will now take a spell on the bench. Jordan Adnam checking in for, I believe, the first time here in the second half.
Thosby got some choice words for his bench as well as he checks out of the game in frustration.
And they have struggled here in the 4th period to score. I mean, their last score actually came at the 9 minutes 38 mark. So they haven't scored for nearly 4 minutes of action now, the Knox Raiders. And you can see why the frustrations are starting to mount as Burton will throw up the 3. Shot clock expired.
Again, it is, I guess, disjointed as the Raiders have been. The Braves have established a 7-point lead, but really have had some, you know, a bit of luck in establishing that with a couple of late shot clock made 3s and a Ray Turner tip-in. So the Raiders shouldn't really, you know, can't get disheartened about being down 7 when, you know, themselves are only 5 or 6 minutes ago were up 7. So this game can swing very quickly. The Raiders can tighten it up, as you see. Damon Higher knocked down the 3 in the face of Ray Turner, and good signs there for the Raiders with Higher knocking down what is his 4th 3 of the game.
And there you go. I mean, as you said, it was a 7-point ball game. All of a sudden you hit a 3 as Ray Turner gets it to go. It's now a 6-point game, but despite how low scoring and stagnant this game has been, a 6-point margin can well and truly be cut quickly as we see Rains is getting set to check back in for Knox as well. Here's Mike Rose now.
Good play there from Darryl McDonald, I think, you know, getting Rains back in as James Hunter slips the handoff turns the corner and picks up the foul on Ray Turner. It's a crafty little move here from James Hunter as he gets Ray Turner off balance, and Turner just can't get back into play.
Turner with his third personal, and in fact he'll take a break with 5 minutes 10 remaining. Couple of substitutions for the Braves, and I believe Andronicus was set to check in regardless, so he comes back in, along as Hansen as well. So a 3-point ball game now. The Braves remain as the game's leaders. 5 minutes to go in this one. Both teams needing a win to continue their push for finals here in the NBL1. Here's Burton. Puts up the baby floater. No good though.
Big chance here for the Raiders to tie it or cut the lead to 1 as you see Damon Hire. Torstadinian reins up into the ball screen. He wants to attack Andronicus. No good on the 3 though.
He's been aggressive today, Damon Hire. Played really well. 18 points in the game. Might be one of those guys that if Knox are to get over the line, could have some big moments coming up.
See Muo now, isolated against James Hunter out in the corner. Takes the 3, no good as Andronicus slips on the backside, and Adnam on the blow by. Reigns will rise up, finish with the flex, the foul, and he'll go to the line for a bonus as Matthew Muo late on that rotation. You see in transition here Mike Rose kicking ahead to Adnam on the rip. Reigns just steps into that gap. You know, wanted to rise up and throw it down, but strong enough to finish through the contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot the bonus.
And he's pumped up as well. You see the flex, and just looking at the crowd over there, some of the Knox juniors just imitating the flex from Reigns. Love to see that. Getting around their heroes.
Certainly do. He's been quiet, the big fella. He's been plagued by foul trouble tonight, but certainly has shown throughout this season that he's got the class and the skill set and the athleticism to be a big game player. And you know, the Raiders really need him to step up throughout this last 4 minutes and play through those 4 fouls.
Yeah, just the 4 points and 4 rebounds today. The foul trouble as well and truly interrupted his output this afternoon, or this evening rather. But I mean, look, with 4 minutes remaining, a 1-point ball game, it might not be about the volume of statistics because he could help his team now get over the line in a must-win for the Raiders. Chance to draw even here.
He knocks it down. Gets that 7-point lead in the matter of 90 seconds back to a tie game. We just spoke about it, Liam. And, you know, the Raiders consolidated, got a couple of stops, good offensive possessions, and, you know, we're right back where we started again.
Andronicus comes with a screen for Muo. Just found enough space to put it up and in. Matthew Muo with the 2.
Again, the ball screen, the pick and roll D all night from the Knox Raiders has been undesirable. You know, Darryl McDonald would, I'd imagine, be frustrated. Muo just getting in the paint too easily. I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve on that ball screen D, but all second half they're broken down as we see Hire with the wild miss on that drive. Good D from Burton on that occasion.
So the Braves by 2. Deontay Burton now. We're into the last 3 minutes 20 here in this one.
He'll like this matchup with Hunter as he calls Andronicus to force another switch and now gets Reigns playing with the 4 fouls, and Reigns will pick up his 5th and foul out of this game on the drive from Deontay Burton. As you see Reigns on the switch here, just gets his shoulders, picks up the foul trying to contest the shot rather than just playing straight up with 2 hands, showing his hands. He can't help but take that swipe. So, you know, disappointing for Reigns to go out with the 5 fouls, and you know, Ray Turner straight back in, and will certainly look to take advantage of this small Raiders lineup now.
Big blow for the Raiders. Just moments ago, he came up with a tough and 1. And as they trail by 2 here, they'll have to do it without him the rest of the way.
Braves have certainly allowed the Raiders to stay in this game through shooting just 9 of 16 from the foul line at 58%. So they'll certainly be frustrated with that.
And Burton as well, 3 of 6 today from the free throw line. He's Hunter. Nice post move.
Nice hook from James Hunter. Took advantage of the smaller defender and finished. Cut the lead back to 1. 3 minutes to go. Cracking game here, despite it being low scoring. Both teams have hung around and played through the ebbs and flows of the game and found their way back into the game multiple times. Chris Hogan on the pick and pop. Ray Turner with the mismatch, and he'll finish, and he'll pick up the foul on Grant as Ray goes down and looks to be hurt, clutching his knee, which is not a good sign for the Bendigo Braves, as big Ray Turner still on the ground, clutching that right knee as he got fouled. You're seeing it here as he ducks in on Simon Grant and just gets his legs taken away from him. And, maybe a hyperextended knee as he landed. He's back on his feet now. He's looking very ginger on that right knee, though.
That replay, that looked painful. I didn't see it live, but geez, you hope he's all right.
Turner will go to the foul line to shoot the bonus, and we'll see if he does remain in the game. He's got some serious padding on those knees. Maybe already carrying an injury into this game as well.
So we'll take the 3 throws, Ray Turner. Looks like he's going to stay in the game, Greg, judging by
Let's see
Bendigo
how he
bench.
moves on this next possession, and if the Knox Raiders can try and hunt him down in some pick and rolls as well and really test out the big fella's knee if he is going to stay in the game.
So timeout on the floor. We'll have to wait and see. It's a 4-point ball game in favour of the Bendigo Braves as we see that injury once again.
Turner's just taking a walk down to the end of the bench, and maybe he's going to check out here as we see Andronicus make his way into the huddle. Turner trying to walk it off. Remain in the game for his team for this last 2.5 minutes. The Braves with a 4-point lead right now after the game being tied at 66 all, and big out right now is Sidinian Reigns picking up that 5th foul for the Knox Raiders, and he'll have to sit the rest of the way. How can they find a guy who can combat Ray Turner's size if he does stay in the game? How are they going to protect the rim? Darryl McDonald probably addressing his team's pick and roll D as we see David Hogan in the huddle with his group right now.
It really changed the complexion of this game if Ray Turner was unable to continue. Reigns, of course, checking out, and Ray Turner will come back in, so that's great to see. The Raiders need a bucket here.
Get the ball to Damon Hire. Right now, Hire, as they turn it over, Simon Grant threw it away. Ray Turner looking very ginger on that knee right now. He's going to remain in the game. As you see Deontay Burton isolated against Mike Rose, and they'll get straight into ball screen and attack James Hunter. Once again, Burton and Rose.
Comes off the foot, and Turner will pull up for 3, and it drops. Ray Turner, he's pumped up as well.
Big 3 from Ray Turner, knocks down his 2nd triple of the game, and both of them have been huge. Give the Braves back their 7-point lead after only minutes ago. The Raiders have tied it up.
And what a team lifter as well. I mean, we saw him limping around gingerly as Rose gets the floater to go, but Turner comes up with the big 3, and that'll get the Bendigo bench pumped up. It's back to a 5-point ball game, though. The Braves a chance to answer.
Double team on Burton, gets fouled as Hire puts his hands in on the double team with Simon Grant. And Burton will go to the line, shoot the bonus 2. Braves in the bonus the rest of the way. We see Adam Thosby come back for the first time in a number of minutes to close out the game for the Raiders.
So it's been these 3 throws that they've struggled with a little bit, the Braves. And Burton will get that one to go. Takes him to 12 of 19 from the charity stripe.
Misses
And
second.
again,
Leaves the door just open enough for the Knox Raiders. They'll look to cut it to 2 or 3. This possession is Hunter with the early triple and knocks it down. Raises the roof at the State Basketball Center. The Knox fans are pumped up. James Hunter's pumped up. Here we go. 3-point game, 90 seconds left. Chris Hogan on the push.
Matthew Muir now. The music's turned up here at the State Basketball Center. The fans are pumped. We're in for a big finish. One possession ball game. Here's Matthew Muo. Shot clock winding down. 4 to go. Puts up the floater. No good. But Turner comes up with it for Bendigo.
Ray Turner has been a man in this game. He has been incredible for the Braves. On one leg right now as Mike Rose gets in the paint and finishes. Still a 5-point game in the last minute. And we've got a timeout for the Bendigo Braves, and they'll advance the ball into the half court. Ray Turner now with 26 points and 12 rebounds. He has been everything for Bendigo tonight.
He has been phenomenal. The big time 3 moments ago, of course, that knee injury, we thought it could have been something more serious, but he's come back in and playing a little bit ginger. It's been fabulous. So, meanwhile, though, the Raiders continue to come. I mean, it's a 3-point ball game with a minute square on the clock. Could come down to a final possession, Greg.
It absolutely could. And as we see Ray Turner here just muscle Simon Grant out of the way for that putback. You know, it's going to be a bit of clock management here down the stretch. Raiders have got some timeouts to play with. The Braves are just the one left. So, you know, Braves ball coming out of this timeout. Look for them to get the ball in Deontay Burton's hands, control the game from out the top. It's a pick and roll action with Ray Turner, and you know, or they'll go to Mathiang on the post and try and exploit that mismatch with Thosby. Nice play here from David Hogan, taking the ball out on the end line and using that full 24-second shot clock. Had he advanced it, the Braves would have had just a 14-second shot clock. So really smart coaching here from David Hogan to give his team a full 24 with a minute on the game clock.
So Burton now. They're right up in the grill of Burton. He's doubled. Grant and Hyatt. And Hyatt comes away with a jump ball, though.
Jump ball. And it will stay Braves ball with 11 on the shot clock. Great job from Hyatt and Grant there on that double team to almost force a turnover.
Possession arrow was the friend there of the Braves. A lucky break. They still lead by 3. A chance to extend that. Crucial 11 seconds coming up. 11 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Into Muo. Crowd calling defense. Rose doing well on him. Muo backing his way in.
Little hook there from Muo, but we've got a foul. As Mike Rose picks it up. Muo will head to the foul line for the bonus 2. See Muo here on the drive. Great D from Mike Rose. Really bodying up. You see that hook. Muo just got away with one there, but Mike Rose picked up that foul.
Mathiang Muo up to 18 in the game now.
And we've got a technical foul on Deontay Burton.
So does that mean there's a 3-throw coming up for Knox?
Do we have a technical warning?
Yeah.
Muo misses the first. Must have been a warning for Deontay Burton as Mathiang still at the line.
So once again, the Bendigo Braves split a pair at the 3-throw line. Burton's fouled Damon Hire there.
No call though, just an out of bounds, and the Raiders will get it back.
Wow.
No timeout here from Darryl McDonald. He's letting his team play through it now. Now he goes to the bench. We've got a timeout for Knox Raiders, and you'd imagine they'd advance the ball here and try and get a quick score. Extend the number of possessions in this game. Braves are going to have to do a good job defensively here. Hire and Thosby and Rose will be in full attack mode. And we've seen James Hunter knock down a couple of big threes in this game as well. So certainly options all over the floor for the Raiders coming out of this Darryl McDonald timeout.
4-point margin. Not the friend of the home side here at the moment. That last attempt at the 3-throw line, seeing it go to a 2-possession ball game.
Look for the Braves have been doing a good job all night, switching a lot of ball screen action from the Raiders. Now, I'd imagine you look for them to stay with that switching action, you know, to be able to contain and contest, not give up any uncontested threes or breakdowns and rotations in their pick and roll D. So Ray Turner does a terrific job. Muo's got the size and length to guard bigger guys, and Hansen and Hogan are experienced guys who know what it takes at this level.
Who's your pick for a three-pointer for the Knox Raiders, Greg.
Oh, look, you see Adam Thosby making his way away from the ball here. You get Thosby and High are probably their best shooters, but look for James Hunter on some pick and pop action, maybe to find himself open if the Braves do break down. See the ball straight into Hunter. We go back to Mike Rose on a little back cut, almost throws it away. Higher in the corner for three.
Whoa! Back to a 1-point ball game. Damon Higher with the 3-ball.
No timeout from the Braves. They'll inbound. 2-possession game. No fouls to give for the Knox Raiders. As Muo brings it over half court. Guarded by Mike Rose. Interesting matchup. These two have been going head-to-head down the stretch in this fourth as Muo pulls up. Can't make the two.
Here we go.
The Raiders will get the last shot as Thosby pushes. Attacking early. The wild shot's no good. I think the Raiders had to do better than that, Liam. I think they had to take the last shot there. You're at home. You've got to back yourself in. Now they give the Braves another bite at the cherry, but they will get the ball back as Hansen will walk the length of the floor and go to the free throw line with a chance to push it out to a 3-point lead for the Braves. But what a shot from Damon Higher in the corner, pushing him up to 21 points on the night.
Big time bucket, wasn't it? And he was wide open as well. I mean, Mike Rose did well coming baseline to find Higher wide open. But yeah, I do feel like on that last possession, I mean, Grant had a full 24 to play with. And seeing those couple of Bendigo defenders ahead of him, no reason why he can't just back it out and reset.
Thosby on the push there. He's an experienced campaigner. He should have done better than that. Pulled it out as we see Hansen knock down the back end. It's a 2-point lead right now. Darryl McDonald take his final timeout with 9.1 on the clock. Another Damon Higher 3-pointer for the win.
9 seconds to go. Here we go. Is there a big finish coming up here at the State Basketball Centre? The Braves at 9-9, sitting in 8th position, would love a win to continue to surge into that finals berth. Meanwhile, the Raiders just staying in touch there at 7-10. Must win tonight if they're to stay in touch with the finals race. Huge final 9 seconds coming up.
Could we get some free basketball tonight, Liam? We might get an extra period here. Knox had backed themselves at home. They've also got a big game tomorrow over at Waverley, which also has playoff implications. And Liam, I'm sure we'll hear your voice on the call at Waverley tomorrow as well.
You will. I'll be there for the Falcons and the Raiders, of course.
And we've just got word that the Falcons have picked up an enormous win over the league leaders Ballarat tonight, 90-77. So, some huge playoff implications in this game now with Waverley picking up that win, keeping themselves in the hunt. The Braves could fall to as low as 10th with a loss tonight. So,
wow.
Yeah, it certainly has some massive implications this game, and the Braves wouldn't be aware of what's happened up in Ballarat tonight with Waverley. Maybe in one of the upsets of the season, knocking off Ballarat, who have been the best team in the league all year. So certainly a huge possession here as Adam Thosby takes the ball on the side out of bounds.
Here we go, 9.1 on the clock. Rose and Muo getting tangled up into Mike Rose. All right, here we go, the Raiders. Thosby over to Mike Rose. They trail by 2. Once again, Higher in the corner, blocked though by Burton. And the Braves, Turner's fouled, I believe. So the game clock's expired. They'll put more time back on, but Turner will go to the line for a couple of attempts.
And we have a look here. Burton, late on that rotation. Did he foul Damon Higher?
Really tough to tell from that angle.
Tough to tell from that angle. And referees discussing whether the foul on Ray Turner occurred before or after the final siren.
It looked like we might have had deja vu. I mean, we saw High do exactly that in the other corner.
And that's it. It's ball game. It's all over. They've said the foul was after the siren. The Braves will pick up a 2-point win and move to 10-9 on the season as they'll head down the Midland Highway to Geelong next Saturday night in the round 15 matchup between the Super Cats and the Braves in what will be an absolutely enormous affair. Some big results around the league tonight as well, with Kilsyth beating Nunawading over at the Nunawading Basketball Centre. Hobart beat the Centre of Excellence. Dandenong have knocked off Albury-Wodonga. Bendigo over Knox, as we have seen here. And Waverley, the big turn-up of the night, beating Ballarat. So certainly the top 8 is far from set in the men's competition, and this game had huge implications tonight. That's probably the end of the Knox Raiders season. unfortunately. They're probably at 7-11. It's a stretch for them to make the playoffs, and the
Yeah.
Braves have well and truly kept themselves in contention for potentially a top 6 spot.
Well, that Waverley result, I mean, wow, like, obviously they came into this one, I believe, a game behind Bendigo, and you would have thought that it was a likely loss there, and then all of a sudden Bendigo goes in 2 games ahead. But to defeat Ballarat in Ballarat by 13, I mean, what a performance.
Oh, and they'll take a huge amount of confidence going in tomorrow against a Knox team that this is a heartbreaking loss for them. You know, how do they bounce back from this on a Sunday afternoon at Waverley? You know, it's a different venue to the State Basketball Centre. You know, it'll be a smaller crowd. You know, Waverley playing at home, buoyed by that win last night, and with a chance to be in the playoffs in their first season in the big league. So, you know, great result for Waverley. Disappointing for the Raiders, but a terrific night here at State Basketball Centre overall. Yeah,
it has been. I mean, there's been a great crowd here tonight. Fantastic to see so many people getting around the NBL1, and look, I reckon that's all we've got time for here, but it's been fun calling with you today, Greg.
Mate, absolute pleasure, and hopefully we can do it again in the future.
Absolutely. So the Braves getting the win here, 80-78. A big win for them, buoying their playoff hopes. My name's Liam Ellison, joined by Geelong Supercats Chief Operating Officer Greg Vandershat. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.